This demonstration is going to cover our rust finishes. We have an Auburn rust, a gold rust, and a copper rust. The Auburn rust is going to give you the deepest, darkest rust finish. The copper rust is going to give you more of an orange, brighter rust, and then the gold rust falls in between those two. For this demonstration, I'm going to demonstrate on the Auburn rust, but the steps are the same for all three. So here's how it works. You're going to spray or dip the product on your clean steel until you get a copper finish. And you'll see it instantly turns to a copper finish. Now once it turns copper like this, you don't need any more of our product. You don't want to keep spraying product on there and keep spraying and spraying and spraying, because what happens is it forms layers on top of itself and it'll end up chipping off. So once it turns that copper finish, you're done. You just set it aside and let it work. Let the product work on the steel. Periodically throughout the day, as it dries, just get a bottle of water. This is just a little water in a spray bottle. And spray it on there and mist it on there. And that reactivates the product to continue the rust process on your steel. So every time it dries, you just hit it with a little bit more water. If it's raining outside, even better. The rain will do it for you. It's very humid outside. If it's dry, or you got it inside somewhere where it's not moist, get a bottle of water and you just squirt it with water. And remember to treat this like paint. You know, you want to put something down. You don't just want to put it on something on your carpet or tile or anything, because it will stain. So I got it on a piece of cardboard here, or plastic or something, just to protect anything. So as it goes throughout the day, and usually the process takes about 1 day, but sometimes you can do it faster. This is one that I started earlier in the day, a little here, and it just took a couple hours, and now this is ready to be sealed. So throughout the day or in a couple hours, this will start to rust, and if it's the rusty color I want it to be, then what I do is get it wet one more time, and then spray it with the neutralizer, the rust arrest. Now what happens a lot of times is during the rusting process, water will pool up every time you mist it in certain spots, and you'll get a real dark black area that builds up. You can kind of see on the bottom of this piece here, it was a little bit darker. This was black. Now the neutralizer will remove most of that. So once you get it wet and spray the neutralizer on, and then rinse the neutralizer off, that'll go away. Usually, after you neutralize it, let it dry by itself. You come back the next day, it's perfect where you want it to be. Then it's ready to be sealed. Now, if this is something you're not planning on sealing, a lot of people wrought iron fences or things are going to be outside that people aren't going to be handling, they choose not to seal it. Then you can bypass the neutralizer. You don't need the rust arrest then. You're just going to let it be, so you're not sealing it. No need for the neutralizer. Now keep in mind, if you are going to seal it, remember that when you seal it, it is going to darken the finish. So what you see right here, right now, is not going to be once you seal it. If you use the gloss sealer, it's going to get really dark. It'll be much darker. If you want to know what it's going to look like sealed, basically just spray it with water. And that's what that's going to look like sealed. Now the gloss sealer will really keep it dark like that. If you use our matte sealer, it's going to darken it a little bit, but it'll keep the color mostly what it was before you sealed it, more so than the gloss. So you want to keep that in mind with the rust finishes. A lot of people like to use the matte because they don't want it to get darker, and it looks more natural. If you're looking for a rust finish, it looks more natural. And then you can create finishes like this. So that's how the rust products work. And again, all three products work the same. And the Auburn is the darkest, then the gold, then the copper is the lightest. And that's the way our rust finishes work.